a big day for us here on Small Bike Stuff. It's the first big scoot on the channel ever in the Round the World series. I'm really excited about this because it's the Yamaha XMAX. We get this in New Zealand, but I'm currently in Malaysia. There is some of Malaysia for you to view as proof. However, that is not the point of the video. The point of the video is this, the Yamaha XMAX. A little bit different from the rest of the world, well, some of the world, because this is a 250cc and they still only get the 250cc. Now, here's your engine down there. So it is a CVT. It's kind of hard to see because it's all hidden up there, but there you've got your barrel and your head up the top there. It's vertical. You've got your oil filler here, and then you see your electric start just under there. And over on this side, you've got your large, incredibly large CVT transmission here with an airbox sitting on the top. Now this was bought new in 2018, and I believe it's up to like 70 to 80,000 kilometers now. It's had a few changes. The 250s have about 22.5 horsepower, and then the 300, which we get in New Zealand, has 27.5 horsepower, so 5 horsepower less than the 300 version. I'll find out why, but I imagine it's just due to local regulations or laws. But yeah, it's a cool little engine that does whip you up to a really nice speed. You could go easily 120, 130, 140, 2 people on it, and yeah, you can just kind of manage your way around a massive tour if you want to. This thing's been all the way up to northern Thailand and back again. We'll stop looking at the engine because that's boring. Time to look at the wheels. So on the front here we have a Pirelli Angel scooter tire. We've got a 120/70/15 on the front. We do have ABS, and you do have a twin pot caliper here with disc brakes, of course. You wouldn't have a twin pot drum brake, but this thing also has Öhlins in here, which we'll talk about soon. On the rear though, we've got a Pirelli Angel 14, so we've got a 140/70/14, quite wide, and this thing's been well used. So you see it's got a bit of a flat spot because this does a lot of touring. And on the rear there's no ABS, but there is a disc, so disc front and rear with ABS on the front, 14-inch rear wheel with a 15-inch front. Check that out. So you've got a full car-sized dashboard. Well, not really, but you know, you've got a massive rev counter here with a speedometer, which is traditionally what you do see on a normal automobile. 74,658 kilometers. You've got your fuel gauge on the left. You've got your temperature gauge on the right. You've got a fuel consumption gauge up the top and the clock in the middle. As far as other controls go, you've got your left switch block here, which has your left turn signal, right turn signal, push into cancel. We've got our high beam, low beam, and press to flash your high beam as well. Down here we have a horn, which I won't push because it's very loud. Oh, there we go. That's the horn, and it also flashes the lights when you do that. I've just started up because I wanted to showcase the spotlights shortly, but you've got a kill switch here, which also doubles as your start button. You've got turn signals here, hazard lights here. So as you can see, both are going front and rear. And then you can change between trip, your average speed, the air temp, 32 degrees, your battery, it's at 12.1 volts at the moment, traction control on or off, and kind of your average consumption throughout your ride, through different formats. So yeah, there's a lot of things that you can see on your dashboard there, which is cool. I will turn the hazard lights off now, and if we push this little addition that's happened here, what you'll notice is that we've got a set of spotlights up the front there. If I tap that button again, they turn yellow. There we go, my gimbal's playing havoc on me. So yeah, you've got these additions here, which technically aren't really meant to happen in Malaysia. And then they flash as well, if you want. So you've got a lot of stuff you can do there to kind of get people's attention. We'll turn the flashing off. Oh, you've got a slower flash. And then if we push that button, they'll just stay on. We'll leave them on for now. But as far as the controls go, they operate these twin front headlights here, and we've also got the turn signals built in as well. These are turn signals down there, which are operated by the hazard lights, and you've also got the horn that you heard before sitting up underneath there. There's 2 horns, twin tone horn, sounds really nice and loud, gets people attention a lot more than some other scoots do. The tail lights, just so you can see what they look like, yeah, 2 individual tail lights, almost like a mouth and a face there, like an angry frog, I think it kind of looks like. But it's a cool machine. Big for a scoot, not the biggest scoot in the world. You know, there's the Aprilia SRV 850 and the T-Maxes and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a pretty sizable beast that has a lot of power and enough capacity to get a couple of people a long way. Alrighty, what we're going to do now that I've turned it off, what we're going to do is show you underneath the seat. So here you have a very large storage area. You can fit a full face helmet there and a full face helmet here. You might be thinking that's not enough room for a full face helmet, but you can see it's all indented under there specifically to fit one. I have it on good authority from the owner that this will carry a litre of oil and 2 10 kg sacks of rice as well. So if that's the kind of stuff you want to carry around, you've got room for it. You could easily do your day shopping with a scoot like this. If you're shopping on the regular and not just doing it once a week or once every couple of weeks, this is more than enough to get what you need. I was meant to be talking about the controls, but I got a little bit distracted. So let's jump onto the quirks and features, or the differences on this bike. So we've got Öhlins sticker on the front here, but that's because it's got actual Öhlins inserts inside there on the front forks. They do a massive job in helping the performance. They stop dive as bad as you get on the original shocks, which isn't that bad, but you know, you can always be better, and Öhlins is a good way to achieve it. And then as you see there, you've got genuine Öhlins on the rear there, doing a really fine job holding this very heavy scooter off the ground and dampening those bumps just as you would expect. Apart from that, you've got a large rack on here with our box, and if we open this box, there we go, that's the lid there. You've got a large amount of storage space there and a couple of buckles to keep everything in place. Got a couple of cool stickers here. So he's got a Thai number plate made up based on his number plate, KET9880, KET9880, kind of the Thai pronunciation for those characters. And we've also got a Mae Hong Song sticker, so that's 18,164 curves. It's a big loop in Thailand that a lot of people from Malaysia head up and do, and this one has done it. As with all Malaysian scoots or bikes, you've got to have a number plate on the front, so here's the number plate on the front. It's also part of the XMAX Owners Club in Malaysia. Other things that have changed on this, the spotlights that I've mentioned from the controls. We've also got these covers here, or these guards for the brake levers. The brake levers are changeable and different. They're foldable as well. They've got an adjustable position there. You've also got this seat here. This seat came from Europe, I believe. You know, it was nearly best part of 1,000 New Zealand dollars, but it makes the touring capacity of this a lot better. You want to tour on it a lot more because you can. And the seat's a lot more comfortable. The stock ones aren't bad, but if you're on the bike for days and days and days at a time, it can be a lot nicer to have something a lot more plush and comfortable. We've got the obligatory quad lock mount here with the dampener as well, which gets a lot of use. And this little handle here, I believe, is stock and specifically made to mount things like this on it. The only other thing that you have here is a storage area there. And look, we've got a little, is that Siang Pure oil, which is like a yadom is what they call it in Thailand, but it's menthol oil that you can use to make yourself feel a bit more refreshed at times. Totally legal, by the way, in case you don't know it. You've got this side cover here, which possibly opens with the lid. No, I think that one's stuck at the moment. We've got your fuel cap cover here as well, so the fuel fills up from under there, and you've got a big tank at the bottom of the bike, so it really adds to the center of gravity. When this thing's full of gas, it's not up high, and it's really nice to ride. So that's basically it for the XMAX. This is a 250 in Malaysia, and they don't have the 300 here. I think it's due to regulations, but yeah, 22.5 horsepower compared to the 27.5, so 5 less than the 300, but you know, it's more than enough. You've got this massive underseat storage here, and short of getting a Yamaha XMAX, which is a lot more expensive compared to these, they're usually worth, you know, double if not more. It's a pretty good pick if you want to go long distance on a big scoot. This has been added to the windscreen as well, which is an extra wind deflector, something to mention last minute. These really do a fantastic job, and yeah, just make sure that that wind is kind of going straight over you. Might seem a bit silly for some people, but if you're doing long rides, having wind not buffeting your head and buffeting your helmet can add a lot to your day's riding time. You don't have such a sore neck, you don't have to get off the bike so early. 75,000 kilometers on the clock here in Malaysia. This is a Yamaha XMAX, and I'm glad to show it to you. Thanks for watching this episode of Small Bike Stuff. Glad to see a big scoot. If you have a scooter or a bike that you think should be on the channel, you can film them in your country, in your home, with a phone. I'm filming with a phone right now on a gimbal. You don't need a gimbal, you don't need a microphone. Anything that can film, you could film it, send me the video, I'll edit for you. Add any comments if need be, and yeah, it'll be on the channel. Lots of people have done it, you could be one too. Thanks for watching this episode of Small Bike Stuff.